Whether you are looking to improve your public speaking skills, elevate your professional communication, or gain a deeper understanding of human connection, Nikos' insights inspire and equip you to take your communication to the next level. Nikos, hi, welcome to the Resilient Lounge podcast.
How nice, surprising.
Nikos, today I really wanted to bring you in because you are an exceptional coach in obviously a lot of things, but mainly today we're going to speak about how to get people not to feel fear in public speaking. And you obviously have all the experience on this and strategies that you can give us in order to help us improve. How can individuals overcome public speaking?
Yeah, one that is very popular is the fear. Fear is a common challenge to overcome. And fear comes from living not in the now. So when you're thinking of, am I doing well? Am I going to respond to questions? Am I going to deliver the message? You're creating a doubt and you live in the future. That's why you create the fear. So fear is created by the mind. So it is three words that I can deliver to your audience. And the second word is, so what? The so what is, why are you sending a message? So you, the speaker, become the message. So when you become the message, there is no fear because you are focused on the message. And the third is, and now what? And now what means what the audience is going to do after listening to your message. So there's three things. You must concentrate, focus on your message, you deliver your message with the answer and the why, and then what is the intention of your audience. So basically, when we talk or when we want to interfere or deliver something to the audience, we have to get into their mindset.
The mindset of the audience?
Of the audience.
Okay.
And answer the question of their struggle. So everybody has a question. And that question is the problem, is the struggle, is the motivation. Our message responds to that question, then definitely we're going to succeed.
So what you're saying is the person needs to be very well prepared.
So preparation, you need to know your audience. And then the message that you're going to give them, you have to give it a structure. And the most simple structure is when you have a problem, you have a solution, and the benefits of the solutions. Three things.
Right.
So you're still thinking, and then suddenly some people add another couple of those, you become 5 or 6 or 1, 2, 3 or whatever. It doesn't matter. The 3 is the structure that you need to have in mind when you want to deliver something.
Okay, and how does one develop a strong vocal presence in order for them to get that message out straight away?
The vocal, it's a technique that we develop over the years, and it's a distinction between developing and delivering trust. Breathing has to do a lot with the vocal perfection. When you deliver your voice through the larynx, people get a little bit angry, annoyed. When you push your voice down to the chest, you can feel it. So the voice now is different.
It's more huskier?
More huskier, yes, more harmonics. It's how you say it and how you use your voice.
Yes.
It influences your audience or your viewers.
So where does body language come into this?
Okay. People usually remember your movements, then they remember your voice, and then they remember the words. But these 3 components must coexist to be able to deliver a good message. You use the proper words, which is 7%, the tonality of your voice, which is the 38%, and the body language, which is the rest.
That's really
So your
interesting.
movement on stage, during gathering or whatever, use of hands, use of posture, it plays a very important role in communication and persuasion and creating trust.
How do you create trust?
This, in the public speaking, you need to have a good message. You structure it by content, and then the tonality, the voice, which improves the persuasion, and the body movement. But trust from the cognitive point of view, you need to have stability, that is your history. If you want to influence people or a variety of different groups, you need to read and study how these people are affected and what they read and what they are excited about.
In order to deliver a persuasive speech, you need to also reduce your anxiety, your nervousness, because if your voice is weak, then the other person's going to feel that.
Exactly. Yes. Because the body interferes with your delivery, definitely.
So how can people handle their nervousness and anxiety?
It's good to understand and know your stuff, and be able to construct the message according to your audience. I ask many questions, and from the response, I read the body language. So if I ask you something and you don't feel good, you're gonna go look down and go into your feelings. If you're excited, I can see it in your face. So I pick up the signals when I'm doing something, when I'm describing something, I become a receiver.
Does that come well with experience?
Yes, that's why competence is one thing, but experience, it builds up on your competence, and you have to do it in experiment. If you're a speaker and you really care about your audience, you look at them like this, and there is this peripheral vision that you need to learn and extend. So I can see all the room, all the time. So I can see now, I can see this camera, I can see that camera, I can see the books here, I can see the door if somebody walks there, because I look at you, but I have trained my peripheral vision, which I use also for my accelerated learning, and I read very fast. So I pick up a lot of information from the written material. By receiving, you integrate that reception into your delivery online. So sometimes you need to change the message because of a reaction of a person.
My next question would be about conversational intelligence and how we can use conversational intelligence in public speaking.
When we are involved in conversations, usually I transmit information, you transmit information. Now, when we are in a meeting and delivering publicly conversations, you try to persuade me that your idea is good, and I try to persuade you that my idea is good.
Yeah, how do you get, and how do we come to an agreement to that then?
We don't.
We would just agree to disagree, I believe.
It becomes higher trust. I contribute and you contribute.
Okay.
So I move from the low trust to the high trust. So it's another way of improving trust by improving and elevating conversational intelligence. At the beginning, if I propose something, or when I'm in the seminar now, let's move into the seminar, and I say something, a mind shift, some of the people in the room will be a bit skeptical. What is this all about? And as I move, and I say more, and I explain more, etc., I move from the skeptical to the acceptance. I want to accept a little bit more of that. Okay?
Right.
So this is a different sort of steps that exist. And then we move to the experiment. I heard something from you. I'm going to experiment to see how it works. So basically we move from the I to the we during our discussions, during our conversations, during our creation of ideas. It's when we invite people to tell us their ideas before we decide something. It's not the hierarchical structure when the CEO says, okay guys, this is our vision, but it's not our vision.
It's their vision.
Something that you develop and you put on the table. So this is how we create an inclusive environment to hear from different directions in a company, in a group, etc., different ideas, so we can co-create.
How does one company, they have the vision, they have their mission. And so having the vision and their mission, how do they deliver a message to their employees to have the same vision and mission? Is it through conversational intelligence?
If they develop this by themselves in a closed room, then they need to try very hard to deliver it to people and persuade people.
Every founder does do this on their own, and then they deliver the message down to the employees.
Okay.
And most of the time it fails. People are just there for their monthly salary.
That's right. Yeah.
So how can a company really deliver and employees be on board with the same vision and mission as the co-founders, directors, and C-level of a company?
You use a conversational intelligence to bring people at the beginning of creating the vision.
Okay, so can I have an example though? Let's say I've started a company. It could be whatever. Okay, let's say it's a podcast. I've started a podcast and I have a vision and I have a mission. And now I'm going to employ some people to be in the background of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
My vision and my mission would be, with what you're saying to me, is I need to, in order for me to bring on board people to work with me and not with the idea for me, I can then get them to be on the same level as my vision if I speak to them as a we instead of an I.
Yes, yes.
So we will build this
yes.
together
Yes.
instead of I will build this together.
Okay.
Right.
Is there anything else you can add to that? Your experience. You came from another company, you came from another culture, okay? You have an idea? Yes. What do you think about this idea? This is my vision. What do you think about this vision? Because it's a startup, it's a new people, I go through this channel so people can understand what we are after, the why. Okay? So after they understand the why, they have to go and implement. And the implementation requires, or the execution requires resources, and support, space support. Because I'm going to give you the tools and whatever support you require to implement, to create, or to make that vision a reality for us. In the end, just to give you a sort of a framework, here I have my desire or my vision, and here is the outcome. Okay? So to do that outcome, we need to have in the middle routines, tasks, activities. Now, these require capability and mindset, and what we say, same page, because sometimes the owner will deliver a vision that is not understood, not necessarily they don't want to do it, because they didn't understand it. It wasn't explained, it wasn't communicated properly, the message wasn't there. So we need to build up that capability so we can create or convert that vision into the reality, our goals, our outcomes, etc.
So basically building a rapport with your employees in a sense, right? Get their ideas, bring it on board in a sense. Is that what you're trying to bring out?
Rapport is one of the skills of communication that helps us to relate.
But you would need that though, no?
Yeah,
In conversational intelligence.
Yes, there's more skills required, create a good relating, okay? But rapport has some scientific components. Rapport is voice. So if we go back to tonality, if I copy your tonality, you trust me.
Yes.
Yes.
If we mirror the other person.
Literally. That's what rapport is all about. And then you lead.
To finish off our podcast today, there is one last question that I want to ask you. And that would be, what resources or tools do you recommend for people in order for them to improve their public speaking and their conversational intelligence?
The Power Presenter by Jerry Wis, this American presenter. Made to Stick. Made to Stick is a very nice, easygoing book for people to read.
Yes, that's what we need, an easy book to read.
And Dan Heath, brothers, they have written this. There is a couple of Talk Like TED by Galileo. And watching few nice TED presentations will be helpful. Read articles.
Public speaking?
On different stories. How to create stories, etc., etc.
Okay.
And also write down. See? And let me just give you a very good advice. When you are to talk about the topic, gather as much information as you can. Say 5, 10, 20 pages, different articles, and then you summarize. Use progressive summarization to reduce the 15, 20 pages to 5, 6 pages, 2, 3 pages. And then from those 2, 3 pages, pick up the key sentences, the key ideas, so you can construct a meaningful message. And then build on that. Okay, and also I teach this for students when they want to sort of cover a topic or a chapter or whatever. They can use this to deliver the summary and go for the summary and not to the details. And then from the summary you pick up maybe 2 or 3 bullets. That will give you a direction where to go and what to say. And there's another book, Crucial Conversations by Kerry Patterson.
Nikos, I want to thank you very much for coming onto the podcast today. Could you please let our viewers and our listeners know where they can find you?
I have a website, nicospaschali.com. My LinkedIn profile, I think, is the most up to date.
If you are going through fear of public speaking, you can always get in touch with Nicos Paschali. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I'll see you next week. Thank you.